Hello, 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 ladies. I'm back. I'm back. I did now want to talk about sexual freedom, if that's what's best for black women. What you think about Smex work? Should Smex work ever be looked down upon, or should you advise younger black women not to get involved in Smex work? I find that these are very controversial topics a lot because you have some women that are really on the side of like Smex work is like legitimate work, and you should look at a Smex worker the same way you look at a black woman that's a doctor or a nurse or a a woman that does something in the corporate space, um, things like that. Um, Somebody said not my business or my coochie. Um, okay. Well, it's my business because I am in the business of empowering black women and talking about things that help and assist black women. So even though it's not my coochie, it's definitely my business and talking about what things are more pervasive with advising black women on. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about that, and hopefully, we can have a conversation about it, on what you guys' thoughts are. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good and you. And what I mean by not, because what I've learned, me personally, I'm celibate. That's just what's best that I feel that works for me and my life and my goals. But like the sex workers, what they do, it has nothing to do with me because men are who they are. You get what that's just my point of view from it. That's why I'm like, it's not my business, not my, my area. And black women aren't a monolith, so it's like just because you ran into this one that might be a 304, sis over here isn't.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. I just feel like, I personally am invested in the welfare of
Mm-hmm.
young black girls, older black women. And if we never speak up about certain things that could be harmful, and nobody, because some women, young women, don't know no better. They don't have positive influences. They don't have a mother or a sister or aunt or a granny to look up to. So
But
they
wouldn't
just
you
going for
agree,
what they
like
know.
most of the time, because I'm an older woman and I've given younger, even myself, like it was advice that I got, and I was like, oh, this isn't coming from a good place. And 10 years down the line, oh, I should have listened. They weren't coming from a nagging place. That's kind of why it's like it's not my business. Because do you feel like they take the information like other women, or is it more so like women they have to learn for themselves?
I mean, some girls will listen
Mm-hmm.
and some won't. So I do it for the ones that will listen. I've
The
had
ones.
a lot of young women tell me that I've helped them and helped them avoid certain mistakes. So I just take it as suppose that the message, whoever the message reaches, that's who it's supposed to reach. And then other people that don't want to listen, then they won't. But at the end of the day, I do think a lot of things with the society that we live in are now encouraged that didn't used to be. And sometimes young black women are really harmed from that. So I think it's good that, we talk about it because it's a lot of women nowadays that will tell young women that doing OnlyFans, doing corn, being on the track out there is okay. That's actual work. That's something admirable to do. It's no big deal when it's absolutely a big deal.
It
And
is a big deal to me, but at the same time, like I don't care because men are gonna. You get what I'm saying? Even if we didn't have sex workers, men were gonna. It's not gonna make men act right. Because I
I mean,
know
I
I
don't
just
care
noticed with
about men
some.
acting right. I don't
Yeah,
care
I
about
just
men at
noticed with
all.
some women, it's like this hate towards sex work, and I'm like, sex workers don't make men act the way they act. They're gonna be that way if even if you remove all the sex workers.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying because I don't care about men. I don't think that not having SMEX workers is gonna make men act good
So
or
you
bad.
just think it's just a bad look that no black woman should be a sex worker ever.
Yes, and I think it's harmful to black women. At the end of the day, it don't have anything to do with like morality or religion or anything like that. It has everything to do with is harmful on every level to Black women, period. If you engage in it, and anybody that has talked to any SMEX workers for an
But wouldn't that
extended
go for
period of time,
casual sex as well?
absolutely.
Oh, okay, so we kind of on the same page a little bit because, like I said, I'm celibate completely, and to me, that's what for me and a lot of people get mad at me. I don't see this difference between casual sex and sex workers. Honestly, I just don't.
I mean, there's a difference between casual SMEX, I would say, depending on, you know, what you have going on. And SMEX work, there's definitely a different behind staying on the street and having random men that is definitely putting your life at risk, even though you can put your life at risk having casual SMEX as well.
Casual, that's what I'm saying. You
but
get
it's
nothing. At least
also,
the
but
SMEX
it's
workers,
also
they
a
got a
higher,
little money.
but it's also a higher risk factor with being a SMEX worker. Statistics prove that it's even riskier that way. So if you care about your life, you wouldn't be doing SMEX work or casual SMEX, especially if that's something you do on a regular basis. So, yeah. Gabrielle, you had something to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say that I think I agree with you for the most part. I mean, I definitely do agree with you. I think that sex work is exploitative. I think that things like OnlyFans, I think that it's very strongly linked to, you know, sex trafficking. And I actually wrote an article about that a few years ago. So, like, I'm definitely not in favor of that. You know, I think that that kind of profession in and of itself, it's built on women being, you know, exploited. Like, a lot of women who went into that did experience abuse and, like, in childhood, whatever. And I get that, like, some people are going to say, oh, well, that's not every woman. Like, sure, it's not every woman, but it is a resounding theme. Like, there is no denying the link between, like, you know, sex trafficking and sex work. Like, they're very interconnected with each other. With that being said, like, I do think, you know, when it comes to, like, casual sex, like, okay, like, if you, I don't know, if you're out and you meet a guy and you guys, you know, have a vibe and decide you know, want to hook up or whatever, like, I think as long as everyone's consenting, that's their business. Like, I don't have an issue with that. I mean, obviously, like, use protection, like, be aware of the risks, you know, like, get tested, like, but when it comes to that, I'm more kind of like, as long as everyone's consenting, do what you want to do, know the risk, obviously. But when it comes to sex work, I do 100% believe that it's exploitative. And I think that some women are groomed into, and a lot of women are forced into doing that. So it's not always a situation of like, oh, she just chose to do that. No, a lot of women in sex work genuinely feel like there aren't any other options or had trauma from the past that kind of led them to that. And I think there should be empathy for that. But I do think the whole sex workers work, oh, what's the difference between being a sex worker and working at a cafe? I think that is very disingenuous and it's not the same. So, I mean, I think Post, for the most part, I think you and I will probably agree on most of, you know, this stuff for sure. But I'm 100% with you on, like, sex work. It's definitely not empowering to us at all.
All right. Okay, I got you. And when it comes to, like, the casual SMEX part, the reason why I say that is also harmful to women is because, first of all, you're having SMEX with a guy that you don't know. And even if you use protection, there are several different diseases that you can get, even using protection. You can get HPV, HSV 1 and 2. It's a lot of different things that
Or
you
it
can
can just
get.
simply throw you off. It don't even have to be a disease.
You know, it's a lot of things that can occur that way. Also, that pregnancy is always still an option. What if you're using a prophylactic and it breaks or anything like that? And then even if you don't want to look at it from the disease side, like if you look up studies show that the majority of women that engage in link-ups, hookups, one-night stands with men that they don't know don't even have an orgasm from that activity. So exactly what is your reason behind doing it? Like, what are you getting out of the deal? Because most of the time you're not even getting an orgasm out of it. So I really do feel like a lot of it is male-centered behavior, and in hoping that you can get this man to somehow stick around by giving him a piece of pussy. And I just don't think that women should engage in that behavior. Like, your body, you only have one. You only get one shot. And to allow people that you don't even know to connect with them in that way, I feel like it's crazy. And of course, you know, everybody has their own right to do whatever they want to do, but I wouldn't recommend or advocate for that in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Like, is it crazy to you? Because I hear now the big thing is take prep, women, take prep. Is that not? And I've read the studies on prep, like it's not good for your liver. Like it's just all these other things of what ifs. Isn't it easier to just like, okay, I'm going to abstain from sex than putting your body through that? Or am I crazy for thinking that as well? Like,
I mean, I think, I totally get your point and your perspective. I think that a lot of people want to live in their baser instincts and they don't care at what risk they endure these things to go on. So if they can still get to be out there like that and have an increased like protection factor for getting like the major thing that people don't want to get, because I think most people think about HIV being the end all be all as opposed to a whole host of other things that you can get. But so you know, I think that taking a drug that, yes, I've heard that it's hard on your liver and stuff like that and your kidneys and it does a lot of things, but I think a lot of people are in their baser instincts with no self-control. And so that's the best that they're going to get because they know they're not going to really protect themselves in any other way, shape, form, or fashion. But yeah. Gabrielle, you have something to say?
No, I was gonna say I definitely hear you, and like I'm not saying that there's not like a risk to it at all, because like anytime that any people are engaging in that, like there obviously is a risk, and like I don't think that like let's say like you meet a guy and like I don't think you should do that like just because you want him to like you or you want his attention. Like I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like, and again, it's just my opinion. I just feel like if both people involved are consenting and genuinely want to do it, and it's not because of like coercion or because of like, oh, if I do this guy's gonna like me. Cause I don't agree with that ideology at all. But I just think that if both people, are consenting and they, obviously know the risk and like contraception, I don't know if I can say like the actual word on the line, so I'll just stick to contraception. I'm sure everyone knows what I mean by that. But I just think that it is up to those two people. But like obviously there is a risk factor like in any engagement, of that nature. But I definitely do hear what you're saying. And like, I have seen the stats about like, the O gap and stuff like that. So like, I definitely hear like where you're coming from as well.
Yeah. Okay. I got you, Gabrielle. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, of course, people have the right to do what they want to do. And, if you want to do that, it's all, you have all rights to do that or whatnot. Is not something that I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend that to my daughters. I wouldn't recommend that to any woman. I think the best practice that you could do is to not have intercourse with somebody that you're not married to, and that you definitely haven't gone to the clinic with. At the very least, that's something that you should do. At the very least, y'all should be going to the doctor together, getting a full panel, and not relying on him, because I heard that men are out here falsifying
I was just
STD
about to say
paperwork.
they make fake apps, actual fake apps now that they can pay.
Which is disgusting. So women need to be making sure that y'all go with them to the doctor and you see it for yourself right there. The doctor is saying, hey, is it okay if I tell her your results? And you're saying yes. And then you get to see all of it. And so if you're having a one night stand, you don't even have the opportunity to do all that. So it's just like, you can't play fast and free with your body. Like, at least I feel like you shouldn't. And like, as far as like I said, the SMEX work thing, I just feel like right now I've seen so many women try to make it like it's legitimate employment. Like it's just like going to a job every day and clocking in, or having your own business. Like, let's say you do hair, you do nails, you know what I'm saying? You make clothes, you make dresses for women, or, you know what I'm saying? You have an advertising business, or you're a business consultant. Like, it's not the same thing as that, period. It will never be something that is admirable that people don't look down on you for. And I just feel like that's very damaging to young girls, because there are a lot of younger girls out here now that feel like they want to take things the easy way out. They want to go lay on their back and they want to go take off their clothes, and they feel like that's going to get them somewhere, not realizing the majority of those girls that engage with that are end up being traumatized. It's girls right now that I see on this app that glorify dancing and come up here and show their stacks of money and stuff like that. And then I'll see so many other young girls in the comment section. Oh, I can't wait to do this. Put me on. Tell me, sis. And all these girls show is the positives of the experience and never the negatives,
I agree with that.
until you keep listening to them speak or whatever. Then one day they're telling a story and something will come out about how some men degraded them, how they felt bad, how they got raped, or how they almost got raped, or how somebody did this, that, and the third. So it's just like the glorification of it is crazy. The glorification of OnlyFans workers. I should not be able to go online and be able to see your cooter cat and the inside of it and know exactly
Then some
everything
of they'll
about you.
like on Instagram, they'll post like their ads, then like a picture of their kids right afterwards. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with that. I just, I do feel strongly about it, because I do see a lot of it is influencing young Black girls. Even when I had went down the rabbit hole of 304 talk, a lot of girls that were literally out there half naked on the track outside in the nighttime, filming themselves, showing themselves with money. All these girls underneath their comments talking about, show me how to do this. But these girls aren't telling these impressionable girls in the comments about the time that they were held at point, ice point, or somebody pulled a pew pew on them, or somebody made them have intercourse with
Or
multiple men and
robbed
didn't
you.
pay them.
I
Yes,
get it.
or robbed them, or did all of these things.
I
They're
get
not
it.
telling you that. So you're going to get yourself into a bad situation. But right now, I feel like society, you can't say anything about any of these things without people saying that you're shaming women. And my intention is not to shame women, but I know that we're all sexual beings and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with smex or whatever, but however, certain ways that people are going about it, that's not the way to do it. And you're not
And
going to
that's
get a
where
positive.
it's just certain way. Like if it's a grown woman, you getting your money. Like that's what I meant earlier. I just don't care. But like you said, the influence of the younger girls, which is something like I didn't think of that point of view, honestly, because like I said, I wasn't influenced to do sex work. So I'm assuming everybody else is like that.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I
not
get you.
everybody's like that. Like some people are easily influenced. And to be honest with you, like even though I'm talking about young girls, I care about older Black women as well. Older Black
Mm-hmm.
women that may still be in a life and want to get out, or they've made mistakes, because I've watched a lot of documentaries about Black women that have engaged in sex work and the scars that is left on their soul. Some of them have become addicted to, narcotics, alcohol. Some women have been damaged and they've decided to get in there. I remember it was like this really popular corn star, a Black woman. She turned her life around, decided to, she got married to some man and started a church. And she seemed to be really serious about it. She ended up having to step down from the church because people found out that she did corn and were posting her videos and just humiliating her. So just because you decide to get out of it, those things stay with you all your life. So if we can get young women that haven't been involved in it at all, we can stop them before they started, then they won't be in a position that an older woman will be that is already still permanently scarred from it, or her reputation is damaged. And no, it's not fair, because men can do all type of nasty stuff and nobody ever
But
look
that's
at
the
them
whole
bad.
thing why
And
Smex Works exists, is because they're serving the patriarch. Like it wouldn't be, it's just, you get what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm confused. I guess that's where I get confused on. But like you say, if they're being brought in under false pretenses, like, oh, I'm finna live the city girl life, I do get that part. Like, okay, this isn't right.
yeah, and I mean, like I said, I do understand that for any woman listening, you may feel like, wow, this is a double standard because men, we can do whatever we want to do. We can, they can be ran through. They can have all of
That's the
these different
patriarchy, but
partners
that's a
and
large
no
part of
one
why I
says
never had
anything.
kids too.
Okay. I'm sorry. My mind I forgot my thought. Okay. So I'm saying is that I know that I don't want anyone to think that I am trying to say that somehow men that engage in this behavior and do this are somehow better than women. That's what I'm not trying to say. But just the way that we live in, unfortunately, men are able to get away with more things and not be judged. So if you're a woman, that's another reason why I've had other videos where I've talked about women, young girls, don't ever send anybody a picture of you without your clothes on, your boobs, your vagina, anything like that. Don't do it. And if you were ever going to do that, which you shouldn't, make sure your face is not in there and you don't have any identifiable tattoos. And don't ever let anybody film you doing anything that you wouldn't want your mother to see or people at your job to see. Because at the end of the day, the man that's filming you, he will end up looking like the man. Oh, look at him. Look how he breaking her down and busting her down. He'll look like he's the man and you'll look like a fool. You know what I'm saying? Because of these double standards that are in play. So please just make sure that you try your best to, not allow yourself to get into situations that are automatically going to be worse on you. So, yeah, like I said, but my whole goal is not to shame women or anything like that or try to control, your vagina or what you do or anything. All it is just to do as a protection for women, a protection for girls, a protection for, to stop you from being a victim or being taken advantage of. That's the only thing that is for. You know what I mean? Did you have anything you want to say, Gabrielle?
Yeah, no, I definitely do agree with. I mean, when it comes to like the Smex work, I 1000% agree with you. Like, I have actually like written articles about like the strong link between like Smex trafficking and like OnlyFans platforms. Like everyone like in the mainstream, like OnlyFans is talked about like, oh, it's so liberating, it's so this, it's so that. But no, there have actually been reports of like women who have been forced to be on those platforms and been exploited by men. And like Andrew Tate used like online. I don't know if it was OnlyFans, but he actually trafficked women on these like online platforms and websites. So I mean, I definitely do think the narrative that just doing Smex work is the same as working at a cafe, it's the same as working at Target. Like, no, it's not. Like, it's so yeah. I wish that the dangers of Smex work were being more like shared publicly so people knew more about it. So that, and I wish there was more of that in the mainstream to kind of counter the narrative that it's all just all well and good, because it's like even on social media, like if a woman posts about how dangerous that can be, people will say like, oh, you're a turd.
Gabrielle, I'm sorry. Gabrielle,
Oh no,
just
it's
one
okay.
second. I just
Yeah.
want to respond to LOL in the comments that says, I hear you, but please don't be one of those people looking down on the woman like the man. Let me say this. I do not care about men. So just because I don't speak on men doesn't mean I don't care that I somehow am only looking down on a woman. Everyone already knows that men are degenerate, debased, perverts. Everywhere in the world, when you think about the most egregious Smex crimes, the most horrific things that have happened like that are at the hands of men. Okay, 99.1% of all forcible rape here in the United States is committed by men, either against women or each other. So I wish that y'all wouldn't say that because I'm discussing women specifically that I'm not looking down on the men. I think it should be understood. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. I already got my thoughts about men, okay, and their triflingness. They can't be saved, and nor do I even care. I only care about women. Women are the vulnerable population when it comes to Smex work, when it comes to being coerced or taken advantage of or manipulated into having intercourse that they really don't want to have by hoping that they can get the attention and love of a man. So I'm never going to talk about men in this frame because they don't matter. Like OnlyFans and corn and all of these things wouldn't even exist if it were not for men. Like, I was just having a discussion with my husband about this a couple days ago. I was talking about how they got all of these doggone restaurants like Hooters and stuff like that for men to come and ogle women in skimpy clothing or whatever. I said, where are the places where you can go eat and go look at a man's junk? Like something that's called schlongs, where ain't nobody up in there but men with 9 inches and above. And women can just go ahead and get them some lemon pepper wings with some fries and, you know what I'm saying, a cherry Pepsi while they look at these schlongs. There's no place where you can do that because there's not really a business for women to go do that. I'm not saying that there aren't women that go to male reviews and stuff like that, but those women still are a very small percentage of the population because women don't really care to do things like that. So I'm never going to talk about it from a male perspective because we already know that there's a difference in morality. There's a difference in a whole bunch of stuff from men versus women. So anytime you hear me already think that I'm already not on the side of men. Okay. I don't know if that person is still in here, but that's all I'm saying. Like, no, but I feel I do hold women to a higher standard and especially black women to a higher standard because we're the freaking blueprint. We're the mothers of civilization. So yes, I'm going to hold black women to a higher standard because we should know better and we deserve better. Man, I'm telling you, Miss Get 'em girl, like I told my husband this. I said, out of all these things you got, Hooters and whatnot, like I wish there was a place that women could go and dehumanize men and ogle men and make them feel like a piece of meat. Truthfully speaking, like if I had some money, I'm telling y'all schlongs, and I tell all the men that come in, drop them draws. Let me see what you got. At 9 inch or better. Maybe I'll be nice and say 8 inch. 8 inch or better. You can't come in my establishment unless you have 8 inches. That's it. Okay? To be called schlongs. And all the men can only wear Speedo G-strings. And all the women are going to talk to them real crazy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, bring me that food. And smack them on the butt and say, hey, why don't you smile for me? Smile for me. You're looking so upset today. Put a smile on that pretty face. Let me stop. You know what? I'm doing too much. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
No, I feel like that name is like so catchy, but I mean, you're right, and like I agree with you when it comes to like what you were saying about men, and like I'm kind of confused about how men even came in the conversation for the person who commented because it's like the prompt is focusing on BLK women, so you know what I mean? Like what was the point in her saying, "Oh, but don't look down on the man"? Like men are the problem in this. Like like what am I not getting? Like I don't understand the comment that was left about that. Like
I don't know. I mean, that happens a lot though. That I normally get at least 1 or 2 people like that anytime I discuss like Smex work or like, you know, women just being out there and just being promiscuous and messing with a whole lot of dudes and stuff. And like I said, I'm never coming from it from like a, I don't know, religious perspective or moral perspective. I'm only coming from it from a perspective of it's harmful to you. And it's well documented that all of these behaviors are harmful to women. It's documented that casual Smex is harmful to women. It's documented that Smex work is harmful to women. All of these things is documented that doing corn and all of these things are harmful. Like, it's well documented. It's not like it's just me just saying it or just pulling it out of my behind. Like, so I don't know. I don't know where the pushback comes from.
yeah, I mean, because like I was saying earlier, like I've even like I've been on social media and I've seen conversations and participated in conversations where like usually in feminist spaces and like me and some of the other ladies have been saying that like no, like there is a strong connection between Smex work and like Smex trafficking. Like no, there have been studies that show that a lot of women who go into that did previously, you know, experience abuse, and people will not even argue the point that's being made, but they'll just say, "Oh no, you're a conservative, you're a TERF," you know, just like all of these things to like not address the point and not address the the really strong common link between the two. And it's like bringing up men. It's like men overwhelmingly are the perpetrators of this. Like, yes, there are some male victims, and that's obviously a problem, but it's like 90% male perpetrators. So, like I just, like I was saying earlier, I really do just wish that more conversations like this were being had, especially about the SMEX work. And I wish that there were more people who were just willing to be honest about, the fact that SMEX work and SMEX trafficking are very much interconnected. Like, they're not one and the same, but they are like strongly linked to one another. And like, I don't know. I don't understand why it's like controversial to say that, because it really is just like a statement of fact. Like even in cases when people will say stuff like, "Oh, an underage, it's like that's an oxymoron. Like, that in and of itself is trafficking, but people don't get it unless they're like, "Oh, it's just like SMEX work." Like, I don't understand that. It drives me crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you for sure. I mean, I don't know. They've even said that like on Cornhub and places like that, they've actually been sued and had to take down videos because the girls that were in the videos were being SMEX trafficked. So, or like filmed without consent and a whole lot of other stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I really didn't plan to talk like very deeply about this. I just, really wanted to, say that because it was like some women on my page that were talking about sexual freedom and stuff like that. And I just like, sexual freedom is not free. Like, freedom would be something that's free of consequences. Like, anytime you have intercourse, you know what I'm saying? There's a possible consequence to it. Whether it be an unwanted pregnancy, a disease, or anything, there could be a consequence. So I don't know how free you can be engaging in, risky behavior. I don't know. And, like I said, there's like, I see this like one SMEX worker. She's a beautiful Black woman. She's dark skinned. I see her on, doing live streams and stuff. And it's like a lot of men in her like comment sections. And I think she said that she has a daughter. And they're in the comments saying all type of disgusting stuff to her. And you can tell that she is like, what's the word? Like when you get used to, like she's just numb to the disrespect that men show her. Like, I'm looking in the comments and men are talking about, "Can you suck my, you know what? Give me some of that. Yeah, I saw you. You nasty, you this, that, and the third." And, it's like people, I've seen her in interviews too, where she tries to glorify it, but you're not going to tell me that it's a good look for random men that are disrespecting you, mind you, and talking to you crazy, that it's cool for them to turn around and say, "Yeah, I saw your vagina. Yeah, that thing wet." As they're actively disrespecting you. Like, you're not going to tell me that's a good look. I don't care how much you're getting paid. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, and I was gonna say another thing about it. So that is a lot of times, like guys online, like they will say stuff like, "Oh, I can't wait for her to like lose her fake email job because then she's gonna have to go on OnlyFans." So it just like goes to show that like when it comes to the SMEX work thing, it's like they themselves know that it's not something that women truly want to be doing. Like, I don't think there's any girl who's ever dreamed about doing that when she grew up. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't think that is a thing, but they will use that as a way to like degrade women, to say like, "Oh, so when are you going to make your OnlyFans?" Or like, so if they really thought it was this like great thing, they wouldn't be using it as like a gotcha, or as like a gotcha against women. Like, even a few months ago, like I think when the whole with like EBT or SAP was going on, there were a bunch of men online saying, "Oh well, now that like the benefits are gone, women are going to have to, give out $40, you know what?" So it's like when people act like SMEC's work is not degrading to women, I just think they're being disingenuous because literally everybody knows that it is. Like I don't know. Like I wish that there could be more honest conversations like the one we're having now about how predatory and exploitative it is against women, because it is what misogynistic men go to when they want to feel like they have a one-up over women. So yeah.
All right, I got you. Yeah, BL. Into Lunar Wolfie, who said double standards, unfortunately, are still alive. I'm not quite for sure with you. Hopefully, you're not saying that I'm having double standards, because I don't. I hold men to the same standards. It's just that the world doesn't. And there's nothing that I can do about that. And to be honest with you, a lot of the double standards that men are able to get away with still to this day, women are also at fault for. The men being able to cheat on women and dog women out and then still be able to get women, that is women's fault. A man can do the most horrible thing of all time, and there's always going to be a woman willing to entertain him. A man can go cheat on a woman, have a baby, do all time, and women will be like, "Oh, he's just a man. He can't help it. I just don't. That's just how men are." Like, women are a lot of times responsible for the double standards because men don't play about their standards. I say this all the time. One thing that's admirable about men is that men don't play about their double standards. They will shame a woman for being out there like that, and they won't tolerate it. But they'll be out there like that, and women will accept it. So they're able to do it. Yeah, I mean, yes, okay, I agree with you, Lunar Wolfie. Yeah, I mean, men definitely use it against women, and it's disgusting. But I do blame women in somewhat because women don't do it to men. And I'm telling you, like, I really mean this, and I know y'all probably gonna think I'm playing, but I always shamed men. I always asked men their body count because I really do feel like body count is something that's important to men. Like, not, wait a minute, that's not, let me see if I can explain it right. Body count is something that makes a difference in men rather than women. And the reason why I say this all the time is because women are always going to be approached by men. Women can always have intercourse with a man, even if she's 90 years old, because men are nasty and they'll put their thing in anybody. So women are always saying no. So no matter how high a woman's body count is, it could always be higher because she can get any man to do anything because men don't care about their bodies, right? Now, if a man who has to infinitely work harder for intercourse and he has a bajillion partners, that means he doesn't care about where he puts it out, and he's probably also lying and manipulating a whole bunch of women. So I always was very active with shaming men and treating men the way women supposedly shaming men and treating men supposedly the way they treat women. I always ask men their body count. How many women you been with? And men are always very quick to tell you too, because they don't expect to be shamed for it. So a man will talk to you and be like, "Oh yes, I slept with 100 women. I slept with 75 women," because they don't feel like you're going to shame them for it. I have had men tell me things when I was in a dating stage, like how many women they have been with, and they have never saw me again, ever. I'm like, you said, "Well, how many?" Okay, bye. Because I already know you a dirtbag and you don't have any sexual discipline. And it's not the same. Like I said, it's different for women. The body count that people should be caring about is men's. But that's just my opinion. But it is what it is. I just I feel like women have got to really stop making things easy for men, or making it easy for men to take advantage of them. And I do feel like a lot of times women make it so easy for men to take advantage. If you are out there giving it up on day one and you haven't even known that man for for a full 48 hours, like, it just don't make sense to me. I can't wrap my mind around that ever being a thought process where you don't feel like at the end of the day, 99% of the time you're going to be on the losing end. But anyway, I really guess I didn't really have too much else to say about this. I think I keep getting restrictions and reported still, like right now. I just kept on talking. So, you know, Kristen Chronicles. Oh my goodness. Kristen Chronicles said, you have women on here agreeing with Cam Newton. Yes, you do. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of times women be a big part of why men can get away with being super bogus. That's exactly what I was trying to say. And that's sad. It's real sad. Cause it's like, I feel like we as women have more power, but we still be giving it away to men. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this live, you guys. I have another topic too. I might come back one more time a little later today, possibly, and talk about it. But did you have anything else to say, Gabrielle?
No, this was a really good live, and I'm glad I caught it. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I just wanted to say thank you for having this conversation. Like I said, I 1000% agree with you on this sex work aspect. I really, really wish this was talked about more often. And I wish that more people could, stop pretending that, sex work is just like, going to a 9 to 5 or going to a cafe to work for 8 hours, because it's not at all the same. Like, the two things are not comparable at all. So yeah, no, that was pretty much it for me. But yeah, thank you so much for this live.
Oh, no problem, Gabrielle. And I just want to say, I definitely understood what you were saying too about the consenting adults doing whatever they want to do. Like at the end of the day, nobody has to make the decisions that I'm saying they should make. So I don't see anything wrong with your perspective on that either, about what you were saying about consenting adults and stuff like that. So I wanted to let you know I did hear your perspective on that, and I do understand what you're saying. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I appreciate Gabrielle and also the other woman that came up here. I forgot. I think her name was like Elle or something. But I can't remember now. Because I think that's the first time I ever saw her up here. So I'll be forgetting people's names. But if you're still in here, sis, appreciate you for coming up as well. So it's always good when you guys come up and give your thoughts and perspectives. Appreciate y'all. And I hope that y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And I'll try to come back a little later and talk about, I have one more topic to talk about. So I will try to come on a little bit later.